In a momentary lapse of reason, I made a flippant comment about reigniting a past romance with my former partner. Now my current boyfriend has disappeared from my life, and the world seems to have painted me as a villain. I never thought a mere 13 words could dismantle my entire reality. Yet here I am at 3 a.m., endlessly scrolling through a torrent of comments branding me a traitor because of one ill-considered jest I uttered at a gathering, covertly recorded and posted on TikTok without my permission. That clip has now amassed 2.3 million views, casting me as the archetype of a disloyal partner in the eyes of countless strangers. All because I thought I was being clever when I suggested I might reconnect with my ex, Jake, who was skilled in matters of intimacy, while my boyfriend, Connor, stood just a few feet away. It all unfolded last Friday during a girls' night at my friend Madison's apartment. Just a small group of us, sipping wine and sharing frustrations about our romantic lives, as we often did to unwind. Connor had been distant for weeks, consumed by late-night work and barely acknowledging my presence when he returned home, leaving me feeling unwanted and insecure in ways that prompted me to say things I wouldn't typically. When Madison began raving about how her ex surpassed her current boyfriend in the bedroom, I thought I was merely contributing to the light-hearted banter, tossing out an exaggerated remark for a chuckle. The problem was that Madison's younger sister, Emma, was present, a Gen Z enthusiast obsessed with documenting every moment for social media, filming without consent, believing every snippet of drama was perfect for her audience. I didn't even notice her phone aimed at me when I made that comment about Jake. I had no clue she was capturing what she likely viewed as innocent gossip among friends. Connor was in the kitchen grabbing drinks when I spoke, but he returned just as the words slipped out, his face paling while the others laughed and quickly shifted the conversation. I could tell immediately that he'd heard me, but I assumed he'd dismiss it as playful chatter, a silly wine-induced exaggeration. Instead, Connor didn't smile or pull me aside for a quiet talk as I'd expected. He placed the drinks on the table, grabbed his keys, and left Madison's home without a word to anyone. I ran after him, desperate to explain that it was a joke, that I didn't mean it, that I was just feeling neglected, and blurted something foolish for attention. At his car, Connor turned, his face marked by an expression I'd never seen. Not anger, but something more profound, like disappointment tinged with disgust. "You know what, Mia? Maybe you should call Jake. Maybe you two are meant for each other," he said, then drove away, leaving me in Madison's driveway, still in my party dress and heels, grappling with the possibility that my relationship had just shattered over one thoughtless remark. I thought that public rejection was the worst of it, the humiliation of being left at a party in front of my friends. But Emma had already uploaded the video to TikTok with the caption, "When your friend brutally disses her boyfriend right to his face." By Saturday morning, it had blown up online in the most crushing way. The comments were merciless from the start, labeling me a cheater, a toxic girlfriend unworthy of Connor's love. People began creating reaction videos, and relationship experts used my clip as a warning of what to avoid in a partnership. The video spread to Instagram and Twitter, where countless others judged me based on 30 seconds of contextless footage. It worsened when people started recognizing me in public, because Emma had tagged my Instagram in the original post before I begged her to remove it. On Sunday, I went to grab coffee, and the barista gave me a knowing look, whispering to her coworker as I waited. I overheard someone in line murmur, "That's the girl from that viral video, the one who cheated on her boyfriend," though I'd never actually been unfaithful. Connor has ignored my calls and messages. When I went to his apartment to explain, he wouldn't even come to the door. His roommate said Connor was staying at his brother's for a while and wanted no contact, that I'd already caused enough pain. My friends are divided. Some believe I brought this chaos on myself by disrespecting Connor in front of others, while others argue it was a harmless quip exaggerated by social media. Madison feels terrible about her sister's post, but the damage is permanent, with the video shared millions of times across platforms. The worst part is that I'm starting to believe the criticism, questioning if I'm truly as horrible as the internet claims. I did disrespect Connor, joking about my ex in his presence, prioritizing a laugh from my friends over respect for the man I claim to care for deeply. Jake, my ex from 2 years ago, even messaged me after seeing the video saying, "Heard you're single again. Dinner." It struck me how low my life has sunk, that the guy I jokingly mentioned thinks this public shame is his opportunity to re-enter my life. I was so lonely and desperate that I briefly considered accepting his offer. I've deactivated my social media to protect my mental health from the relentless negativity, but the video has reached my workplace, and I sense my colleagues' judgment even when they try to remain professional. My manager pulled me aside to ask if everything was okay at home, noting that my personal life was becoming a distraction at work, a subtle hint that my job might be in jeopardy. Connor was the best partner I'd ever had, and I threw it away for a fleeting moment of laughter that wasn't even clever. He was patient with my insecurities, supported my dreams, and loved me even when I was difficult. In return, I humiliated him in front of our friends. Now I'm single, notorious online for all the wrong reasons, and learning the hard lesson that some jokes aren't worth the temporary attention they garner. I thought I was being witty and relatable, but instead, I revealed an ugly side of myself I didn't know existed. A willingness to hurt someone I loved just to make others laugh at his expense. That video will likely haunt me forever. A permanent reminder of the moment I chose fleeting validation over respect for the person who mattered most to me.